85% of people silently battle with negative thoughts that sabotage their confidence, decisions, and peace. But what if you could destroy them forever? Stoicism isn't just ancient wisdom, it's a practical weapon to conquer your mind. Today, we'll uncover how to silence negativity and build unshakable inner strength. 85% of people will struggle with negative self-talk and low self-esteem at some point in their lives. That's not a random statistic. It's a reflection of a widespread cognitive pattern that quietly dictates the quality of countless lives. The mind, left untrained, becomes its own worst enemy. It tells us stories not grounded in truth, but in emotion, fear, and distortion. And unless we take the time to examine, challenge, and ultimately master this inner monologue, it will continue to undermine our efforts from within. That's where Stoicism enters. Not as an abstract philosophy, but as a set of concrete, battle-tested tools for mental sovereignty. The first fundamental Stoic principle relevant here is the distinction between what is in our control and what is not. Epictetus taught that the key to tranquility lies in understanding this divide. Our thoughts, judgments, choices, and actions fall within our control. The behaviors of others, the past, external events, these do not. And yet most of our negative thinking stems from trying to control what we cannot. We obsess over how others perceive us, over outcomes we can't guarantee, over mistakes we can't undo. By shifting our focus entirely onto our own faculty of judgment and intention, we eliminate much of the unnecessary suffering created by resistance to the uncontrollable. When you catch yourself lost in negative thought, ask this: is this within my control? If the answer is no, let it go. If the answer is yes, then act. This mental discipline prevents rumination and returns us to the only place where power resides, the present moment and our response to it. Marcus Aurelius, writing amidst war and political strife, reminded himself again and again, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This understanding must be paired with a second Stoic weapon, the practice of perception. Events themselves are neutral. It is we who add color, tone, meaning, and weight. To the Stoics, there's no such thing as a bad event, only a bad interpretation. The mind, untrained, rushes to label discomfort as failure, delay as rejection, challenge as catastrophe. But the trained mind, sharpened by reflection and philosophy, slows down. It questions the automatic. It investigates. You wake up feeling off. You think, I'm not good enough today. A Stoic would pause and say, is that true or just a transient thought? You fail to hit a goal. The untrained mind says, I'm a failure. The Stoic mind says, I missed a mark, now I learn. The gap between these two mental reactions is everything. One spirals downward, the other builds resilience. Marcus Aurelius frequently reminded himself that it's not things that disturb us, but our opinions about them. Train the opinion, temper the reaction. You reclaim power, but perception alone is not enough. We must also develop courage. Most negative thinking originates in fear. Fear of judgment, fear of inadequacy, fear of the unknown. The mind, afraid, constructs stories of limitation. I can't do this. They'll laugh at me. What if I fail? These thoughts are not reflections of reality. They are anticipations of pain. And pain, especially imagined pain, is almost always worse than reality. The Stoics practiced premeditatio malorum, visualizing worst-case scenarios to desensitize the mind to fear. By imagining what could go wrong, we reduce the power that fear holds over us. Let's say you fear public speaking. The mind says, I'll embarrass myself. Premeditation invites you to ask, what happens if I do? Will I die? Will I be cast out? Or will I simply feel discomfort for a moment, learn something, and survive? Fear is a liar, and Stoic courage is not about being fearless, but about acting rightly despite the fear. True strength lies not in eliminating discomfort, but in facing it and choosing virtue over avoidance. Negative thinking often clings to the past, regret, shame, guilt. The mind replays old failures like a broken record. Here too, Stoicism offers a path. Seneca wrote that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. The past is not real, it is memory. And memory, like perception, can be reframed. You are not the person you were 5 years ago. You have grown. You have learned. You are not bound by your history unless you choose to be. The Stoic approach to the past is twofold. Accept and extract. Accept what happened, for you cannot change it. Extract wisdom from it, for that is within your power. Every mistake, every moment of pain is raw material for virtue. But to use that material, you must first release the emotional attachment. Regret without action is poison. Regret transformed into wisdom is gold. Ask yourself, am I clinging to the past or building on it? Our internal dialogue also plays a critical role in maintaining negative thought patterns. The voice in your head, how does it speak to you? Would you let another person speak to you the way you speak to yourself? Probably not. Yet we tolerate, even normalize, self-talk that is cruel, critical, and completely irrational. Epictetus advised us to first learn the meaning of what you say and then speak. This applies internally as well. Monitor your words. Challenge them. Refuse to accept falsehoods. Your inner voice can become your ally, but only through training. Begin each day with a statement of intention. Today I will act with courage. Today I will challenge every negative thought. This is not delusion, it's redirection. When you say, I'm not capable, respond, according to whom? Based on what evidence? When the mind whispers, this is too much, say, that's opinion, not fact. Over time, this internal dialogue becomes a shield, deflecting irrationality and reinforcing your true character. Now consider the role of your environment. Stoicism teaches that while we may not control our external circumstances, we can and must shape our surroundings to support virtue. Seneca urged us to associate with those who elevate us. Aristotle distinguished between friendships of pleasure, utility, and virtue, the highest being those rooted in mutual growth. If your environment is full of negativity, criticism, and shallow distraction, your mind will absorb it. You are porous. What surrounds you seeps in. You must become the architect of your space. Choose conversations that inspire depth. Choose media that encourages growth. Read books that challenge your assumptions. Clean your space because an organized space reflects an organized mind. Hang reminders of virtue, quotes, symbols, art. Let your surroundings echo your highest values, not your lowest habits. And if you must walk alone for a while to avoid toxic company, walk alone with pride. Another critical tool in the Stoic arsenal is journaling. Marcus Aurelius journaled as a daily practice, not to publish, but to sharpen his mind. His meditations are personal notes of reflection, correction, and encouragement. This practice is accessible to anyone. Each evening, write, what negative thoughts visited me today? Did I believe them? How did I respond? Over time, you'll identify patterns. You'll catch the same thoughts sneaking in under different disguises. But now, you'll be ready. Journaling externalizes the internal. It makes the abstract concrete. It reveals the hidden mechanics of your mind. And once revealed, you can begin to redesign. Through the pen, you challenge assumptions. You clarify values. You forgive yourself. You construct a mind that thinks not by default, but by design. The virtue of wisdom plays a central role in all of this. Wisdom, for the Stoics, is not mere intelligence. It is practical discernment, knowing what is good, what is bad, and what is indifferent. Negative thoughts often arise from confusion between these categories. We treat indifference, status, wealth, appearance as goods. We treat discomfort, criticism, or failure as bads. But the Stoic reverses this. True good lies in virtue. True bad lies in vice. All else is neutral. So when you feel low, ask, have I acted with courage today? With justice? With discipline? If yes, then you're successful, regardless of what the world says. If not, then correct course. Your worth is not dictated by external feedback. It is dictated by the degree to which you live in alignment with reason and virtue. This radical shift in value assessment annihilates much of the mind's torment. Let us not ignore the body. While Stoicism focuses on the mind, it acknowledges the connection between physical state and mental clarity. A tired, malnourished, or stagnant body becomes fertile ground for negative thinking. You cannot reason well when your foundation is weak. Therefore, take care of the body, not as an idol but as an instrument. Move daily. Eat to fuel clarity. Sleep as a sacred duty. Simplicity in living strengthens the will. Self-discipline in the physical domain echoes in the psychological. When you push through discomfort at the gym, you train for discomfort in life. When you delay gratification in food, you strengthen your capacity to delay gratification in conversation, emotion, and reaction. The disciplined life is not joyless, it is powerful. It is the life of one who commands themselves. The virtue of temperance underpins this. Moderation, not abstinence, is the Stoic way. The goal is not to eliminate pleasure, but to master it. Many negative thoughts stem from indulgence: too much food, too much distraction, too much comparison. The Stoic disciplines their inputs. They do not starve themselves of joy, but they do not allow joy to become dependence. From this place of balance, the mind becomes calm, clear, unshaken. Justice, too, has a role. We often generate negative thinking from comparison and resentment. Why do they have more? Why did I not get what I deserved? These are poisons. The Stoic reminds us, others may act unjustly, but we must not. Your peace comes not from equality of outcomes, but from integrity of action. Let others chase status. You chase virtue. Let others gloat. You remain steady. Injustice in the world is common. Injustice within yourself, that is unacceptable. Now let us speak of fate. The Stoics did not deny fortune. They embraced it. Amor Fati, love of fate, is the practice of embracing whatever happens as necessary, meaningful, and useful. Not merely tolerating, but loving. Your hardships, they are your forge. Your delays, your training ground. Your rejections, a redirection to something greater. This is not blind optimism. It is practical acceptance paired with constructive action. You do not control the winds, but you control the sail. That is enough. Negative thoughts fade in the presence of purpose. So find yours, not in grand declarations, but in daily intention. To be kind today, to be brave, to speak the truth, to help where you can. Meaning is not found, it is made moment by moment. And from this meaning comes strength. Direction, anchoring. The Stoics never promised a life without pain. They promised a way to be stronger than the pain. They did not offer escape, they offered transformation. And in this transformation, negative thinking becomes not an enemy, but a signal. A reminder to return to reason, a trigger for growth, a call to embody your values more deeply. And so we return to the beginning. The mind, left alone, will spiral. But the mind, trained in Stoic practice, becomes a fortress. Not impenetrable, but resilient. A place where fear is faced, not fed. Where perception is shaped, not surrendered. Where virtue is chosen, not compromised. This is how negative thoughts are destroyed. Not with violence, but with vision. Not through repression, but through reason. Not by denying their existence, but by denying their power. The voice of fear becomes background noise. The voice of reason becomes the guide. You are not broken. You are untrained. Train your mind as you would a muscle. Test it, strengthen it, challenge it, sharpen it against discomfort, align it with virtue. This is not a philosophy for scholars. It is a blueprint for warriors of the inner world. And the battle is fought not once, but every day, every thought, every moment.